It is approaching Ignite. It's kind of.
Yeah, suddenly, right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, yesterday was April, and somehow Ignite is tomorrow.
Right. What the hell's going on?
I don't know. This year is coming to an end, and yeah.
I'm gonna go to Florida at least twice this winter. That's how bad
Really?
my life is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Got a family thing happening.
Oh, okay.
In February, which I'm really excited about.
Man, at least it's a warm place. At least it's not like South Dakota. I mean,
Honestly, I'd rather see South Dakota at this point. Even in February.
let's make it happen, folks. Let's see if he's still so jolly about it.
Let's get a Kickstarter going.
Let's get it.
Send Paul to frozen hell.
I'm sure South Dakota. Actually, I've been to South Dakota, so I know it's a very nice place. I've driven through parts of it.
Yeah,
I believe.
Have you gone to what's it called? I almost said Monument Valley. I know.
Isn't that Utah?
It's a completely different thing. Yeah, it's on the Utah-Arizona border. Anyway, what am I thinking? Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, no, I didn't go.
No.
Maybe we can do a podcast from there. We can.
There's a good cartoon of what it looks like from Canada, Mount Rushmore. It's just like the four presidents' asses, like they're kneeling over. I guess that's a president. It doesn't matter. Anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah, I get it. Things you can also get today. Look at that. Like how I did that. Is your phone is now kind of what started off as a Samsung sort of exclusive feature is now just
well, we knew that was gonna.
Yeah, if you have an Android phone, 7.0 or higher, and you have a computer with the Bluetooths, and it's working because that's a key.
Well, and I think you have to have 20H1 right now, right?
Yeah, I thought it was 19H1.
Oh, was it?
I think it's 19H1. I think like you can just go grab the update and yeah.
Oh boy, how exciting!
Yeah.
Okay, so you can make phone calls.
Yeah, you can make and receive and decline, and look at your call history.
God, I might have to update the book. Jerks. It's big stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's actually a pretty nice feature. That is.
No, it's great, and I hope they can kind of get past the reliability thing because sometimes it seems like your phone just dials out, or maybe that's the wrong term. It disappears or whatever. But you got to admit, over time, like this thing has turned into something pretty crucial. Like it's nice.
Yeah, it is. It's a great reason to buy an Android phone. It really is.
Yeah, it's true.
So
it's true. What can you do with an iPhone on your phone?
I think you can. I'm not even joking. I think the only thing you can do is like share web pages.
Hey, can you see your pictures at least?
Oh, I don't think. Maybe you might be able to see your pictures. I don't know.
You should look at that. You should connect your phone. Well, I guess I could look at that. I'm just curious. I mean, it's curious. Like,
it's not a big thing. I mean, because I use the Google Photos, so that makes it all.
Oh no, I know.
I would never need this, but
sure. But for a lot of people, I think having that functionality is cool. Plus, some people, you take a picture. Like I just did this. I took a picture. It's just so stupid. It's like what people used to. It's like taking a picture of a television screen. It's like my smart display just came up with a picture of me and my sister Jill from like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
There's no way on the smart display to swipe something and say share with and have it share. So I took a picture of the screen like a jerk, and then I'm like, I got to send this to my sister Jill. And then I sat down at the computer, and I was like, man, like I wish I don't have this computer. This computer isn't connected to anything, and plus I took it with an iPhone anyway, and it probably wouldn't work, But it'd be nice to, it's nice to be able to do stuff like that from a big screen, keyboard, etc.
Yeah, it is. And then we didn't bring this up, but the Insider program is chiefless or direction.
Leaderless.
Yeah.
Depending on your view of the Insider program, it's been like that for a while.
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah. So the guy who posted about that on the Windows blogs I had never heard of before, and he is also the person. He might be the one who. No, that was Brandon. He has only written 2 posts. Actually, the other one might have been about Windows 10X. That's really interesting because. Those are 2 kind of high-level topics, and he did not hand them down to the underlings. He took them himself. So that's interesting. So I'm curious what happens there. I'd like
you're
to
right,
see.
exactly right. He's written 2 posts.
Yeah.
One is Windows 10X, and the other one is that. And
Have you heard? You've not heard of this person either.
no,
right?
and I was looking up who I talked to about Windows 10X before the event,
Okay.
before the
Well, it was-
hardware event, and it was not him.
Probably Aaron, right?
It was Aaron. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think a lot of people look. The Insider program is a great idea. It hasn't manifested into anything particularly useful, unfortunately. It's very clear that a tiny, tiny minority of people signed up for the program are actually actively engaged. I don't know how you fix any of that stuff, but unfortunately, it's kind of turned into like a marketing kind of a thing, not
Yeah.
a real engineering. Let's fix bugs, blah blah blah, whatever. I'd like to see that change, And also the other major problem there, of course, is the communication coming out of the people who, blog about the new builds and everything. They can't communicate effectively. You may have noticed since you wrote it up, they referred to this new calling feature by 2 different names in that blog post. It's a little irritating, and I'd like to see that fixed as well.
You know what
to me, it's-
controversial change I'd like? And I'd be curious. I don't think they do this. I think they should just have one ring.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They should
Just-
also have
it's-
one version of Windows.
Wait.
Yeah, yes. And if you want to feel a little bit better about the Windows Insider program, look at the Xbox Insider program sometime. I think they have 183 rings.
Yeah,
It's
that's true. It's
ridiculous. It's
Alpha Beta, born on a Tuesday.
yeah. Here's a little feature you may have missed, by the way. Another little announcement from yesterday was the release of what they're calling, of course, they always call these things stupid names, the October 20, or the maybe it's the October 29 Xbox update, right? So buried deep in the feature list of all the new stuff is this thing down the bottom. I don't remember what it was. It doesn't really matter. But there's a feature that only some people with Xbox Ones are going to see. So they're doing A/B testing, just like the Windows Insider program, except they're doing it in production code. This isn't a beta version of the software. This is the version that's shipping to people. So you may or may not see a feature. There is literally no excuse for this. And I think there is a broader problem here. And honestly, this literally dates back to Netscape 1994, 1995, whatever year it was. And this notion that you ship first and you fix problems later. And it has infected our industry. Apple released iOS 13 knowing that it was full of bugs, had already released a beta version of the next version of iOS before they even shipped it. It's not just Microsoft. I tend to focus on Microsoft. And you and I both have a long legacy with that company. But they're doing it in Windows as well, and now they're doing it with Xbox. It's like, seriously, guys, there's got to be a slightly higher bar for software that you ship to millions of people. It's got to be. There's just got to be.
You know what's really unusual?
What's that?
Chromecast stuff or Miracast stuff working.
They probably updated it or something. Sorry, they're A/B testing a Miracast now, Brad.
Yeah, I'm a little whiter than usual
you're on
right
the
now.
B.
Little blown out, if you will.
Yeah, did you just open like an outside window? It's like the scene in the movie where the vampire turns to ash because someone kicks out a window.
Did we mention South Dakota? I think we could expedite that here.
Would you say it burns? It burns.
I was trying to change the image. Here we go. This will work in a second.
Sure. Well.
More than likely. Oh, great. The battery's dying on this thing. I forgot to plug it in. That's going to be also helpful. We also had this phone.
Well, I
Which
can't
is
say
now somehow upside down.
Oh, yeah, close enough. This is the Andrew Rubin.
Yeah, it's literally taking the candy bar style phone and making it a phone. Like that's.
Did you see my awesome tweet about Essential? This is from a week ago or more, where they they had kind of hinted, or it was rumored that they were actually going to come out with a second phone. And I said something like, once again, Essential is innovating where no one else is. They're just releasing phones on the new cadence for when people upgrade once every 4 to 5 years. God.
South Dakota's getting closer and closer.
So what do you make of this thing?
I don't know. I mean, it's, you can't really fault a company for trying. I mean, this is obviously different. They're taking a stab. I mean, you could probably shank someone with this thing if you took it to prison.
Right.
Um,
The shank accessory. It's got that
I mean,
that thing like the last one had where you can put add stuff on it.
yeah, like the problem is going to be getting app support because that's a non-standard resolution in any capacity. And so
Yep.
other than the
Yep.
apps that they built, like, can you imagine trying to read an email on that thing? Like, you get 3 words per line.
I know, especially the font I use. You probably only get one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, obviously the problem with bigger phones is the one-handedness is tough. You know, remember I just talked about iOS, and one of the big problems there is because they force all the icons to the top.
Yeah.
It's harder to use one-handed. This phone, I would say, accentuates that problem. It's taller.
Yeah. I mean, it's like getting to this portion of the phone. It's not any easier. Like they didn't solve that problem.
This is like an SNL parody. Remember the year? It was probably the iPhone 5S where they said, phones were getting too big, and we figured out that all they did was like add a line of icons. They made it a little taller.
Mm-hmm.
It's like someone looked at that and were like, well, what's the logical conclusion here? We'll make it 4 lines taller of icons or whatever.
I also feel like maybe like a vendor, like a glass vendor came to them and said, we have a bunch of scrap glass that always comes off every line and it's in this format. You think you could build a phone around that? We'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Half off.
Maybe this is part of his settlement from his the lawsuit. You got to make something. You have to lose even more money. It's the only thing that's fair. I don't know. Yep.
Not a whole lot else going on today. It's been.
Yeah, it has been quiet. Actually, one little bit of news. I believe we are not doing Windows Weekly today. It's going to be on Friday, I think at 1:30. So after we finish with First Ring Daily, 1:30 ET, I should say. The reason is that California is apparently turning off the power on purpose throughout much of the state to prevent wildfires.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's one way to prevent wildfires. Get rid of the source of the fire, which is also the source of people's lives, I guess. So at least it's not the middle of the winter. Actually, I guess technically in that part of the country, it's never winter, so that's probably okay. To enjoy your digital detox, guys. Go out, enjoy the weather.
I should be more empathetic, but all I can think about is maybe Twitter will get turned off, and then I can go back to just enjoying my life without all the repercussions of tweeting.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, if you're out in California, good luck. Make sure if you need a shank, you can go walk over to Essential to defend yourself.
Right.
And pick one of these up. I recommend
Something tells me they didn't pay for too much security at their building, so you could probably just walk right in.
And that about wraps it up for today, folks. We will catch all of you right back here next time on First Ring Daily.
Man.